First, I couldn't watch football without a bunch of guys who make more money in a year than I'll see in my lifetime kneeling because they're oppressed. I can't watch a late-night talk show without the host going on a 20-minute tangent about Orange Man bad, with no actual facts or logic to explain or prove why Orange Man bad. And now I can't shave my face without a razor company telling me I'm bad because I'm a man and do manly things. Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, apparently companies are still refusing to get the message of get woke, go broke, which now includes Gillette, the fucking razor company. Now, most of you have seen the ad that I'm referencing because everyone and their cousin has made a video about it. Well, I'm going to respond to the ad myself because I want to give my opinions on it. And I'm going to also look at their website, and then I'm going to address some of the criticism that was made against the people that were pissed off at the ad. So without further ado, let's get into this bullshit.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement
Oh hey, it's Justin Trudeau. Honestly, I didn't think he had enough testosterone to produce facial hair.
against sexual
Toxic
harassment.
masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get?
Damn, this kid must have pissed a lot of people off.
Is it? We can't hide from it.
So, we had freak, sissy, everyone hates you, and you're such a loser. That shit isn't cool, people. I mean, for fuck's sake, those phrases are so common and shouldn't hurt anyone. Get some better insults. If you're gonna bully someone, make it count. Also, why did the kid that pissed everyone off run through a stranger's house? And why did the mom just sit there as if a bunch of strange kids weren't just running through her house? I'd be whooping some asses if that were my place.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long.
Okay, hang on a second. Those are fucking TV shows. How exactly are those a problem? The cartoon is exaggerated to get a laugh out of the audience because that's how classic cartoons did it back in the day. Not to mention the woman is clearly okay with the attention. The guy standing behind the black woman may be a bit creepy, but we can't get any context to this situation with a clip that is literally a second long. And the kids partying all seem to be enjoying themselves, so fuck knows why that was included. Now they then show the boys watching TV, and I'm just gonna say that if your teen watches a TV show and immediately starts mimicking the behavior exhibited by the characters, then you done fucked up as a parent. Back when I was a kid, me and my brothers got the movie Shrek. Everybody that's seen Shrek knows there are a lot of crude jokes in it. It was also around the time that me and my brothers were coming about the age that we found fart and burp jokes funny. We did have a problem with repeating the jokes in situations that were not appropriate to be repeating those jokes, such as in the store or when guests were over and so on. Now, our parents did get after us for it, but after that didn't work a few times, they took away Shrek, they sold the video, and they said we weren't going to be allowed to watch it until we were mature enough to understand when you can and cannot do burp and fart jokes. And it worked. We learned not to mimic the behavior of TV show characters when it's inappropriate.
We can't laugh it off.
Well, you can when you have a functioning brain that can process humor and jokes properly.
Who's the daddy?
Also, this guy looks like the love child of Joe Dirt and Napoleon Dynamite.
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Again, no fucking context to the situation. He could be explaining what she said to the rest of the men at that meeting because they didn't understand what she meant, and putting it in different words may help them understand it. And let's go ahead and assume that he is changing her idea a little bit, which is what I think they were going for. What the hell is wrong with that? The point of being in a meeting like that is so you can debate ideas with your colleagues and make the best decision for that company. Are you implying that we should just do what she says without question because she's a woman? That's not a good way to run a business. Hell, come to think of it, maybe that's how you guys came up with this fucked up ad idea.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
Okay, first off, where the hell is that barbecue and why wasn't I invited? Second, why are they all chanting, boys will be boys, will be boys, will be boys, like a bunch of NPCs? And what the hell is wrong with boys roughhousing while they're outside at a barbecue? For fuck's sake, that is literally a boys will be boys behavior. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, and I can tell you that we like to roughhouse. My brothers and I would beat each other up all the time. Still do on occasion, actually. There's literally nothing wrong with playful roughhousing. Now, if they were actually fighting, then yes, stop them. But if they're just wrestling and smacking each other around, let them! That's what childhood is!
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault.
Oh, that's an even better way to promote your product. Shine a light on Anna, I'm fucking better than you, Kasparian. What better way to promote tolerance and good behavior than to give attention to one of the most arrogant, selfish, entitled, venomous cunts in the news business?
and sexual harassment.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Okay, I do want to point out that I'm fine with the Terry Crews clip because he was addressing the fact that men get sexually assaulted as well. People seem to act like it's impossible for someone like Terry to get sexually assaulted due to the fact that he's a man, and in his case is built like a brick shithouse. It actually happens a lot, and that is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
Oh, how dare he tell another girl to smile and call her sweetie? Again, no context to this situation. The guy could be her boyfriend and he wants her to smile to have a good time. Maybe she was having a rough day and he's trying to cheer her up. Or are we not allowed to ask women to smile anymore?
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Not cool.
What the actual fuck is not cool about that? For fuck's sake, he saw a beautiful woman and was going to speak to her. You fucking cockblocker, there was literally nothing wrong with what he was doing, and that's how men have met women since the days of Adam and Eve.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men,
and small.
Okay, I have no problem with what the dad is doing with his daughter here, I just want to make that clear. I have a daughter and I constantly try to encourage her to be your best as well. But I would like to ask, why do we release ads like this for men, but showcase things like this clip for girls? This shit sends a message to younger boys that they're born as sexual predators and are inherently toxic for being men, which is 99% of the reason people were pissed off at this ad. Again, no problem with what he was doing with his daughter, but why can't we do that for men as well?
But some is not enough.
I will also give them this point. That man did the right thing by stopping that group of pussies from beating up on that one kid. I'd have done the same thing and called all of their fathers as well, which is a practice we need to return to so that fathers can start making sure their sons grow up to be men.
It's not how we treat each other, okay?
Again, if they were actually fighting over something, fair enough. Give them a little talking to. But if they're just roughhousing, which is what it looks like to me, let them be.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
It's only by challenging ourselves to do more that we can get closer to our best. I'm not going to disagree with that quote, I think it's actually a good one. I also don't totally have a problem with Gillette wanting to help men. I have a problem with how they're executing it. Now, even though I gave a few of those reasons in my responses, I'm going to expand on a couple of them, but first, let's go check out Gillette's website and see what's going on there. 30 years ago, we launched our The Best a Man Can Get tagline. Since then, it has been an aspirational statement, reflecting standards that many men strive to achieve. But turn on the news today, and it's easy to see that men are not at their best. Many find themselves at a crossroads, caught between past and a new era of masculinity. Okay, first off, it's not just men that aren't at their best. There are just as many fucked up women appearing on the news as men. However, I have yet to see an ad criticizing women for what they do wrong in society. Also, we aren't entering a new era of masculinity. We're entering an era where feminists and SJWs want to erase masculinity, and the dumbasses in your ad department seem to be falling for that bullshit. While it is clear that changes are needed, where and how we can start to effect that change is less obvious for many. While you are right that the solution isn't obvious to many, it also shows you lack of self-awareness due to the fact that you're blaming the legitimate problems men have on the wrong things. It's not classic cartoons, a joke about sexual harassment on a sitcom, or roughhousing while playing outdoors that are causing problems with men. It's the frighteningly high rate of fatherless homes in this country. It's the fact that men get screwed over in divorces, child custody cases, and other civil matters because society is placing women on a pedestal. And I know you guys did briefly show the Terry Crews clip, which I still give credit for, but it's also the fact that society wants to ignore the fact that men get sexually assaulted as well, and an even bigger issue that they want to ignore is that false sexual assault allegations exist and can destroy a man's life. So if you want to have a conversation on where and how to change things, then learn where the actual problems lie and start addressing those. If your ad had addressed the problems I listed above, no one would have had a problem with it, but you portrayed these issues in a way that makes it seem like all men are sexual harassers, and that it's caused by roughhousing and TV when nothing could be further from the truth. It's time we acknowledge that brands like ours play a role in influencing culture. You make fucking razors, Gillette. You could have stayed silent on the matter and no one would have noticed. As a company that encourages men to be their best, we have a responsibility to make sure we are promoting positive, attainable, inclusive, and healthy versions of what it means to be a man. Then stop criticizing the things that are common behaviors for every man when those behaviors aren't bad in the first place. With that in mind, we have spent the last few months taking a hard look at our past and coming communication and reflecting on the types of men and behaviors we want to celebrate. So instead of taking a look at fatherless homes and other real issues, we decided to focus on roughhousing and speaking to women. We are inviting all men along this journey with us to strive to be better, to make us better, and to help each other be better. I'll pass. I'm not big on being told I'm toxic for being a man. From today on, we pledge to actively challenge the stereotypes and expectations of what it means to be a man everywhere you see Gillette. In the ads we run, in the images we publish to social media, the words we choose, and so much more. Well, if the like to dislike ratio on the YouTube release of this ad are any indication of how popular this is, I would advise you to not put more of this virtue signaling bullshit on your social media. As a part of the Best a Man Can Get campaign, Gillette is committing to donate $1 million a year for the next 3 years to nonprofit organizations executing programs in the United States designed to inspire, educate, and help men of all ages achieve their personal best and become role models for the next generation. I'm not going to criticize the donations just yet, as this could be a good thing depending on who they're donating to, but I will try to find information on that. And if I do, I'll make a follow-up to this. All I know from looking at their website so far is that they're planning to work with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Our tagline needs to continue to inspire us all to be better every day and to help create a new standard for boys to admire and for men to achieve. Because the boys of today are the men of tomorrow. We've all got work to do, and it starts today. And that work is going to accomplish fuck all if you go down the path you set with that ad. Look into the shit I mentioned earlier, create an ad addressing those issues, and see if you don't get a better response. Anyway, I also want to address some of the criticisms from people who saw no problem with the ad. I've seen several people on the left make bullshit claims like,
well, I guess the fact that men didn't like the ad means they support sexual assault and harassment.
Nothing could be further from the truth. We weren't upset at the idea that sexual assault and harassment are bad. We were upset at the fact that the ad frames it in a way that makes it sound like all men commit sexual assault by telling men as a whole that they can do better over clips of sexual assault reports on the news. And then they attempt to portray this by showing a man telling a girl to smile with literally no context to why he's telling her that, and a man who sees an attractive woman and wants to speak to her. Neither of those things are bad in and of themselves. Now, if the guy had told the girl to smile and had been harassing her the entire party, you might be onto something. Or if the guy that saw the woman walking down the street was going to take her into an alleyway, you might be onto something. But the way you portray those situations make it seem like men are bad for speaking to women. And that doesn't send any positive messages to young boys and young men. Some of you who criticize those offended by the ad are also claiming that there's not a war on men. Well, the fact that you actually think that further proves that there is a war on men. You tell men that if they're offended by the commercial, that they're either in support of sexual assault, that they're a part of the problem, that they're man babies, etc. So what's the deal? Are we not allowed to be offended by ads that portray us all as sexual predators due to the fact that we roughhouse as kids and speak to women? How come when something like this ad happens to women and a majority of women are offended, the company made a mistake, but when this happens to men and a majority of men are offended, then you think that those men are contributing to the problem? Why does it never cross your mind that maybe Gillette made a mistake and they're going after the wrong things? Again, we're not offended at the idea that sexual assault is bad. We're offended at the idea that roughhousing, talking to women, and cartoons and TV shows that are clearly meant for humor are to blame for the fact that sexual assault and rape exist in the first place. The last thing that I'll address is this idea that TV shows that have humor surrounding sexual harassment have anything to do with this. I've never seen a show that portrays sexual harassment as a good thing, not even when the harassment is used for humor. For example, The Big Bang Theory and the character Howard. Howard constantly harasses women, most notably Penny. His actions are funny because we know that his behavior is unacceptable, and it's funny to see someone who's dumb enough to think that the shit he pulls is actually gonna work. You also get the bonus of another laugh when the woman he's creeping on tells him off. No one is actually seeing that and thinking that Howard of all people found the secret to being a pussy magnet. People are laughing and talking about how much of a creep the character is for how he treats women. Now, I also want to pose a question to everyone. Why do they blame comedies for sexual harassment when the harassment is done in a humorous light, but they never talk about shows like Law & Order, Criminal Minds, or hell even Game of Thrones, which portray sexual assault and rape in an accurate light, despite the fact that in both scenarios, the harassment is portrayed as a bad thing? I find that as stupid as blaming Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, Eminem, or any other musical artist for a shooting or a robbery or whatever just because the criminal responsible listened to their music. Why is it ridiculous? Because the majority of their listeners don't commit crimes. Therefore, if the music caused people to commit crimes, we would be living in the fucking purge. So, in short, the offense taken at the commercial has nothing to do with the fact that sexual harassment is bad. It has to do with the fact that it acts like all men are responsible for it, and it blames it on shit like roughhousing, talking to women, watching a TV show, when literally none of those are what's contributing to sexual assault. None of those contribute to any of the problems that happen with men. Like I said earlier, if you want to help men address the problems of fatherlessness, the fact that they get screwed over in divorce court and child custody cases, and the suicide rate. Anyway, that is going to conclude this video, and I hope you all enjoyed it and enjoyed the effort I put into trying to explain all of this. If you enjoyed what I had to say, please like the video and share it on social media if you wish. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified of my uploads. You can follow me on Twitter at hey_dude77, and I will see y'all in the next video. Catch y'all later.